compassion,
development, opportunity,
diversity,
faith, globalization. I believe that faith is very important to change our life, to build our countries. When you're talking about development, I believe in this slogan, development through faith. To understand globalization, we have to understand that we're more and more bringing together people from all different societies, all different backgrounds, all different faiths.
The first thing I'm excited about the Faith Foundation is that we are reinforcing the place of faith and reclaiming philosophical and ideological ground which has been lost.
I feel what the Faith Foundation is doing is opening up a deep inquiry into the value of religious traditions in our world today, and is bringing forth a very important perspective on the importance of pluralism or of diversity.
A couple years ago, Tony and I were at Davos, and we kept hearing people talk about the importance of public and private partnerships for issues like poverty, disease, illiteracy, the major issues of the world. And as I was listening to that, I thought, well, they're right, but they're not completely right because they're the third leg of the stool. And today in society, there is the public sector, which is government and non-government agencies. There is the profit sector, which is the business sector, and then there is the faith sector. All three of these must come together because a two-legged stool will fall over.
Right now, there's a big chasm between government here and international aid organizations and the religious sector over here, and if the Tony Blair Faith Foundation could help change that, I think that would be tremendously positive.
I could take you to 10 million villages around the world. The only thing in it is a church, or a temple, or a mosque, or a synagogue. It is the most widely distributed network. Nothing comes close. No business has the distribution. The church was global 200 years before anybody started talking about globalization.
Well, I think the Tony Blair Faith Foundation already makes a difference. First of all, by galvanizing these different resources together for common goals, for common betterment of humanity. It's already an enormous contribution. Educating people to understand one another, to encounter one another on the basis of knowledge and not on superficial basis, let alone on ignorance or even misunderstanding. All these things are enormous contributions.
I think what the staff team has done in the last 2 years in really raising the profile through work in schools and academia, bringing faith groups together across the world, has been just astounding.
The collaboration with the Tony Blair Foundation is a kind of growing relationship. So it began when he spoke here in public and then moved on to a video conference between here and America, and then finally to this collaborative module that we held last semester.
We had Hindus, we had Muslims, we had a wide range of religious representations within our group as well. So it made the discussion a lot different. But there were obviously issues where we had different understandings about concepts, and that had to be clarified. But it meant that it was varied and we came in with different perspectives.
So it was consciously very interdisciplinary, very diverse in drawing on different kinds of thinking.
Well, I think Tony, by the virtue of his interest in the question of faith and globalization, has elevated the importance of that question, not just in the broader discourse, but also in the university discourse.
People coming together from different faith perspectives and different faith commitments to act together to overcome common problems that the communities face or the nations face.
80%, 90%, depending on who you're talking about and where you're measuring, of people do identify with a particular faith. And well, it's very important to understand each other.
We want to be able to appreciate that diversity, the differences that people bring to bear, but to be able to do it in a way that we can work together for the betterment of the world.